Oh, this is good.
Okay.
You're doing great.
Can you please, I was trying to figure out what you wanted me to do, so.
There's no wrong way.
I'm just like making
Go with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
make it up. All right, can you guys please show me equal groups now? Making those circles. Looks very nice, okay? And if you finish that quickly, can you please use the commutative property and show me 5 times 3? Awesome. Sammy's going to come up and show us how she did her work. Looks very good. Thank you. Can you erase that? And now we're going to use the erase. Remember, rows going sideways, columns going up and down. And you can use the commutative property once you have figured out the first answer. Okay, we're going to skip counting, the one that I forgot on the board the first time. And in skip counting, it's very similar to the other ones because you got to remember when you have those arrays, you're going to skip count to figure out those answers. So that's just another way to do it if you don't want to draw the picture. Awesome, we're going to have the number line come on up here. And number line is very interesting because you can have it different ways. You can have it by ones, you can have it by twos. So just kind of be careful when you are skip counting. You got to check if that paper says that it's by counting by twos. Don't skip too many. So make sure you check how many numbers are on that number line before you do it on a worksheet or on a test. All right, we have all 5 of the strategies up on the board. So all the students did an excellent job explaining those. I really heard some great math talk when I was walking around, made sure you guys all understood it. So now I want you to erase your boards. So thank you, Penny. That was great of her. All right, we are going to go to our last question that we're going to put on the board. We'll go pink this time. And we are going to talk about the Mayo Clinic because my husband is at the Mayo Clinic right now. He might actually be in this elevator that we're about to use. Who knows? All right, so there are 6 elevators in the lobby at the Gonda building at the Mayo Clinic. 3 doctors get in each of the elevators at the same time. How many doctors are in the elevators? I know you're looking at Ms. McDowell like, oh my goodness, I think you added like 7 extra words in this question. I know it looks a little bit intimidating, but again, there's lots of extra things in here that we don't really need to know about right now. We know there are 6 elevators. That's very important. We know that 3 doctors get into each of those elevators at the same time. So it's asking how many doctors are in those 6 elevators. So again, this is multiplication. We are going to choose which strategy you guys get to use. So you have the tool belt full of those 5 strategies. You get to choose which tool you get to pull out. As long as it's not a hammer, I'm just fine with that. So I'll give you a couple minutes to work on that. If you finish early, I kind of challenge you to do all 5 if you have the time. So see how many strategies you can get on your whiteboard while we have this time. And I'm going to walk around the room, and I'm going to see that, Eli's kind of struggling, so I'm going to sit next to him, and I'm going to encourage him, hey, I really like to use the equal groups method for this one, so I suggest you kind of draw that out because it's visual. I really like visual things. They know that I like visual things. So I'm going to encourage them. I love Gavin. Oh my goodness, you have all 5 of them. That is amazing. Why don't you use the community strategy and kind of switch those around. We have about 10 more seconds to go. Okay, friends, we did it. You accomplished it. I am very proud of you. I want you to turn to your learning buddy, and I'm going to tell you, can you please explain to your learning buddy what strategy you used? Maybe you used all of them. You kind of talk through them. We'll give you a few seconds to explain why you chose it. If that's your favorite one, maybe you thought, oh, this will be a little bit easier with the numbers that you were given. So I'll give you a few minutes to do that. Seconds, not minutes. All right. I really appreciate, obviously I'll give them one more time. I really appreciate, there was some really good math coaching that I heard going on. You guys are really supportive. I really appreciate that. And I didn't see any doodling, and that is quite fantastic. So I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to doodle as I get our math centers ready. So they're doodling. Okay. All right, friends. I appreciate, again, that you guys were doing so well during our math lesson and that you were able to earn that doodle time, but it is officially time for you to clean off your whiteboards and quietly put them in your desks. So thank you. All right, so we, of course, are doing our Math Daily 3 time. I know some of you are really excited about that. Their groups would be based on their levels. I don't think I put that in there, but they don't know that. So we're doing Math Daily 3, and I'm going to explain. We have a new activity. No, this is first. We have a new activity right here. So this is our by myself activity. These would be cut, and they would be like around on the board, maybe with tape or magnets. Couldn't think of the word. So you can like look through those. Okay, so during this activity, you guys are going to use your Fun in the Sun recording sheet, and you're going to go find any of the questions that are on the board, and you're going to answer them. They're going to be kind of a review. I will tell you there is a trick. Half of them are addition and subtraction, so you have to be very careful about that. And secret, there are some division that I would only give my enrichment students. So we are going to kind of just practice one. So I would give them one on the board, and I would just kind of go over, okay, so we have Will is driving 412 miles. Yeah, you get it. And says, how many miles does he have left to drive? So remember, word problems might be terrifying, but we're going to underline the very important words like the numbers, and then how many does he have left. So that left is a very key word. So I'm going to ask John, do you think that we are multiplying, adding, or subtracting? Oh, I love it. You knew that left means that we are going to subtract. All right, how about this one? We have Ken is having blah, blah, blah. Did Ken make all together? And I'm going to ask Samantha. Samantha, do you think this is multiplying, adding, or subtracting? Oh, thank you. You knew that all together meant that you are going to add it. Very good. All right, so some of these would be marked out because they're division. So when you finish this, you're going to hand it in, and this station is going to be able to actually get on their iPads and work on multiplication apps when they are finished, because this is by myself. Don't forget, this says write down the equation and then the product. So don't just write down the product. I also want to see your work, so please put the equation. If you do need to make a strategy on the back, you definitely have plenty of room. So you're going to need your clipboard for this. Okay, so then we have math with someone. These would be cut, they would be colored, and they would be laminated. So we have a memory game. So you guys, I'm sure, have all played memory. So with this game, I want you to kind of look through the cards first with your partner, and you guys are going to just put them in order. Just make sure you have all the cards, make sure you kind of understand what you're looking for. So first, just put them in order. Then I want you to mix them up, and I want you to put them in an array. Make sure it actually is a pretty array and not just random, because then that would be really confusing. So you're going to put them in an array, and then you are going to play memory. So you're going to flip 2 over, see if it's a match. If it's not, you got to put it back. Now, you can only get the match if you get the product correct. So you can't just say, oh, those look correct. Please tell me what 3 times 6 is. You can't just grab the 2 cards. So we're going to do that for math with someone. And then math writing. I'm pretty excited about this. So you guys obviously are pros at showing me those 5 strategies. You can see the 3 times 5 and you can make an array. You can make equal groups. But now I'm going to take it a step farther. And I want you guys to actually create, so I did these 3 about my life. So I have my cat and soccer and Brian at the Mayo Clinic. But I'm going to ask you guys to create your own multiplication real word problems. So you guys are going to use something in your life to try to ask a partner how to use a strategy to figure out your product. So can you guys just make sure that you write very neatly, because you're going to pass it to your friend and they are going to actually figure it out for you. So that should be really fun. These centers will be about 10 to 15 minutes long, depending on how much time we have. When you hear the bell, it is time to rotate. Please make sure that you take all of your stuff to the next center, because people don't like when your stuff just stays at your center and then they have to clean it up after you. Please remember that we are rotating very quietly, and that you are welcome to quietly talk in your group as long as you are focused on math and that you are on task. So I will be listening for that. One last thing, you know that you have a job to do, but you also know that I have a job to do. So when you guys are in your math centers, I am going to be in a center too. So please make sure that if you have a question, you ask your friends, because your friends are very smart and they're in your group and I'm sure they know what to do. So please ask your friends for help first. And if they can't answer it, then you can wait patiently for me. But I'll be wearing my crown, and when I am having my crown on my head, that means that you are not supposed to talk to me, because I'm going to be a princess and I have my group to work with and you guys have your things to do. So I'm going to make sure that I'm focused on the people that I am with, the friends that I'm with. So then we would do math centers, and they would of course rotate perfectly, and I wouldn't have any disruptions or have to get up. And then I would ding the bell last time and we would start cleaning up. We would have about 2 minutes to do that because we are third graders and we can do it really fast. So we would do everything perfectly, and then we would just like ask one more time. I would just say, hey friends, can you just tell me what was our purpose for this lesson? What did you learn? What did you get out of it? What can you do now? And so hopefully our friends, I would ask, let's ask Tim again, say, hey Tim, what can you do now? And hopefully he will say, I can show multiple strategies to solve multiplication problems. And if he didn't say that, I would just support him and I say, you know what, Tim, you can show multiple strategies to show multiplication problems. So that, hopefully I didn't go too quickly, but that was my lesson, I think.
Yeah, very good. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.